camera collection. In today's video, we're going to be checking out the Canon ZR40. We will be going over some of the specs of this camcorder, and then we'll go around and look at the physical features on it. And at the end of the video, I will show you some of the test footage that comes out of it so you can see and hear how it records. This will be available on my eBay store. If you're interested in it, you can go ahead and go check that link in the description and go check out this camera and other ones that I have for sale on my eBay store. That being said, let's get into today's video. So the Canon ZR40, 45, and 50 all came out in 2002. This is more the basic model one out of the three. It records onto mini DV tapes. I'm not exactly sure how much the camera cost originally back in 2002, but I guarantee it was probably a lot of money since a lot of professional camcorders still cost quite a bit back then. Now, something interesting that I found on Canon's website, this camera in the US was called the ZR40. In Japan, it was called the FV200, and in Europe, it was called the MV500i. So that's very interesting. It also does 12-bit and 16-bit audio recording on its stereo microphone. Now, something that I actually find very strange, and this is the first time that I've seen this camcorder has a 1/6 CCD sensor on it. So it's half the size of the third of an inch CCD sensors out there. So this thing is itty bitty on the inside. But it does produce 460,000 pixels. The lens on this guy is a f1.6 to 2.9 with a 18 times optical zoom and a 360 times digital zoom, which we'll get into that at the end of the video. The minimum focus distance on this with the lens zoomed all the way out is 3 feet, 3 inches, and 3/8. So it's kind of specific that I found on the internet. The maximum shutter speed on this guy is 1 in 8,000. The minimum lux on this guy is 0.5 lux, and that is using the night shot on the inside of this camcorder, or night mode it's called. Night shot is Sony. Minimum lux on this guy is 100 lux. For it to work proficiently. It does have a colored viewfinder that produces 113,000 pixels on it, along with a colored 2.5 inch LCD screen on it, which produces 112,000 pixels, so you actually get a better image looking through the viewfinder than you do on the LCD screen. So those are just some of the specs of this camcorder. If you want to look at all of the nitty-gritty details on it, you can go onto Canon's website on their camera museum that they have on there. You can probably just search in on their website, this is Canon ZR40, and you'll be able to find it. So let's get into these physical features on this little guy, huh? So, on the front, you've probably seen me fiddling with it. It does have a nice little lens cover for it, and it is very small for the 30.5 millimeter lens threads on it. So for any kind of filter, wide angle, or fisheye lens that you want to use on it, that's the size that you would need. I don't think they make any 30.5 millimeter fisheyes, but I know if you order on Amazon the Optica 37 millimeter super wide fisheye, it comes with little lens ring adapters that it will work with the 30.5 millimeter lens thread. So you will be able to run a fisheye on this if you buy that fisheye. So I'll leave a link to that in the description if you want to check that out. Under the lens, it does have a little infrared receiver here for your remote, your wireless remote. It does have a stereo microphone. Kind of reminds me of like a setting sun is what it reminds me of. It took me a little bit to actually find where this was. I didn't actually realize. I thought it only had AV plugins, but it does have S-Video and your FireWire port there as well. So those are located on the front, and then on the side, you have your LANC, your AV out, and your external mic plug-in, along with a DC in for charging your battery on it or powering the camera if you don't have a battery. If you don't have a battery, I will leave a charger and battery link in the description for you as well if you have one of these. On the left side of the camera, it does have a lot of, it looks very basic here on the side, but Canon never really put a lot of buttons on their cameras in general. So a lot of stuff you can go into the menu and you can play with. But you do have your record search, minus and plus. You have your focus, so your manual focus button to turn it on and off, and your AE shift, or your kind of a program button to change the, you can go into like sports mode, sand and snow, night mode, you know, all that kind of stuff. But they also act as your playback function. So you have your rewind, fast forward, play, and pause, and stop. You do have a little switch right here, and that is your open switch for the screen. Canon seems to like to do that. They like to make you push buttons to pull it open, not just be able to just pull it open real fast. So, and on the inside, you still only have a few little buttons here and there. You have your date and time button here. You have your auto and manual mode. It's a little switch. The P is your manual mode, and just the little square symbol is your auto mode. You have your digital effects, so all of your like mosaic, sepia, black and white, polarize, all those kinds of little things. That is how you toggle those on and off. You do have a on and off button for what I was just talking about. And then you have a menu button, so you can go into the menu and mess with some stuff. But you have a little scroll wheel here on the outside of the screen to be able to scroll up and down in the menu. It's also your volume button while watching playback. You also use it for your manual focus and cycling through the digital effects. So that little wheel is pretty much how you get around anywhere in the camera. It also pushes in like a button to be able to select things. They had very big buttons for some reason on this camcorder. Seems to me like this was made for old people. Coming along the back of it, your viewfinder does move up and down like this. But it also pulls out a little bit like so, just so you can kind of get your face away from the camera. Some cameras you have to pull it out to actually get it to focus, but this one it just extends a little bit. Kind of like some cameras, the whole viewfinder will move like this. This one doesn't, so they made it so that just extends. You do have your battery release button. It's very small right there. You push it, slides up and out. You do have your record button here on the back, along with your power switch on the outside with the little gray button in the middle, which is kind of a little safety switch so you can't accidentally turn it on or off. There's this little indent right there, and it says power. And the way that they made it sit like that, it makes it look like it lights up. But it's really just got like a little dash and a little light underneath of it that has a little indicator that says power. So it turns red when you turn it on. So the little power indent, I don't know why they did that. They could have just wrote it on the side of it instead of indenting it, making it look like there's a light that comes on where it says power instead of just the little tiny red dot. If that makes sense. You do got a photo button on this. It does take photos straight to the tape. Kind of like almost like a screenshot. So it does not take SD cards or multimedia cards. This is kind of when I think camcorders were starting to put those little tiny zoom rockers on the camcorders. But this one is a little bit bigger. It's not bad to use. It does have good range on it. Not a bad little zoom on it. It's not super touchy, and it's very responsive, I guess. And what's very nice is it also has a cold shoe up on top. So if you want to mount a light or your mic, because it does have a external mic plug-in on it, you can mount it right there. Now you might be wondering, well, where's the eject button at? Well, that is on the bottom right here. So the tape actually loads in from the bottom instead of coming out the top. So I know a lot of smaller Sony Handycams have that as well. So it's kind of annoying too because it just pops open and then you have to move it. Yeah, so I think it's kind of weird that they did that, but you got to do what you got to do to make it a compact little camcorder. Where the tape deck opens, it is like a gray panel, but you have 1, 2, 3, 4 screws, and you can take that whole thing off. And if you ever need to clean the tape heads on it, you can easily take that off with 4 screws and be able to get into the tape heads and clean it very easily. So I actually really like that. Camcorders that make it a big pain in the ass to clean the tape heads, that's kind of annoying because, especially for nowadays, because a lot of cameras have been used a lot and they're old and they need tape heads cleaned to run as they should. Being able to remove that with 4 screws and get to the tape heads easy makes this camcorder really easy to just operate and work on. And the last thing on this is this little star-shaped holes right here is your playback speaker. So A lot of cameras, they have it on the inside of where the screen is, but this one is on the outside. So if you're watching playback on it, don't hold it like this, I guess. Kind of just have it sitting on a table and watch it, because you can cover it with your hand and then the audio just sounds really bad. So other than that, that is all the physical features on this little camcorder. And I think that this would be a perfect little starter camera for anyone out there who wants to get into filming with cameras that take tapes. It's a very simple camera. They don't cost a lot. I feel like they probably can work very, very well. So I'll go ahead and show you some of these clips so you can get a representation of what the footage looks like and how it sounds on the audio. Alright, so you're now watching me on the Canon ZR40. I just have it on the auto mode, auto exposure, auto white balance. So this is what it looks like in auto mode in my little office. It's a little dark looking, at least on the screen. I do have a light on the camcorder itself, along with another light shining this way on me. So this is what it looks like and sounds like just in auto mode. So we'll go ahead and go outside and test out the optical and digital zoom on it, and then just get some fun other little shots with it as well. Excuse the wind if it is affecting the audio. It's a little windy out today. We're going to go ahead and test the optical zoom on it, the 18 times optical zoom, and then we will show you the 300 times digital zoom. Okay, so there's your 18 times optical zoom. It's very smoky out. It's fire season, so it seems like all of Idaho is on fire right now. It's like the only state in America that is having this bad of fires for some reason. Alright, now I'll show you the 360 times digital zoom. Be prepared, this is not going to look good. Oh no. You can't even see anything, dude. Like, I really just don't get it. Like, why put something into a camera that zooms in so far, but you can't even tell what you're looking at? So you can change it to a 72 times digital zoom as well, and that one actually works okay. And I think that's about where it's at right now. You can still actually see some image. It's just not a big blob of nothing. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you like the video. And if you like the content, make sure you subscribe, because we talk about old school classic camcorders on a weekly basis. And on that note, we will see you in the next video. Have a good one.